Welcome back to Corporate Classy, but please come correct podcast. I am your host, Alberta Thomas, and it's been a minute. It's been what, about 2 weeks maybe, since I am about to launch another episode. But man, it's been. But I would say I want to tell you guys one thing is the other day I woke up very early in the morning and I had something that just was on my heart, that was on my mind, and I'm like, yeah, let me get my mic, let me record something. And it was probably about 12 minutes long. And so that was probably the best 12 minutes of me recording an episode. The best 12 minutes ever. Let me tell you something. I went back to listen to the episode, the best 12 minutes, and I was ready to launch it for on Friday. And let me tell y'all, I want to hit play. Nothing. Crickets. Can't hear a thing. The whole 12 minutes that I recorded that was so raw and authentic. It's like, I wanted it. How did I not check? Because I normally check my mics before I even start recording just to make sure. And I was so frustrated. So I have a 12-minute episode with no sound. And I had to tell myself, I said, hey, maybe it wasn't meant for you guys to hear what I had to say. That's what I keep telling myself, and that's what I'm gonna stick to. Maybe it wasn't meant for me to roll things out the way I was rolling them. But I would tell you, I didn't even have any. Normally, if I'm recording an episode, I'm like, okay, I probably got my little notes going. I know what I'm gonna say, flow. But sometimes when something just pops up, or I want to be able to express myself in that moment, I normally just like pick up my mic or start recording from my phone or something like that, just so I can have that and I can always go back and add, edit, do whatever I need to do. And so it was one of those moments, and I'm like, this is so frustrating. I wanted to pull out my little curls the other day, but I said to myself, I said, you know what? That episode was just meant for me to release some things, but I wanted to be able to capture those moments. I think that is one of the most important things is being able to capture the moments of whatever it is that I'm in and really navigate through some of those things. And the beautiful thing about having a podcast is I'm able to express it however I feel, how much I want to give away, how much I want to give out. And so it's a beautiful thing. And I can remember some of the things that I talked about on that episode. Some of it is just very vague. I cannot remember at all, which is okay. But I know I talked a lot about when you are in a season, are you in a moment of uncertainty? You need clarity. Maybe your heart is uneasy. Maybe something isn't going the way that you expect it to go. Maybe you're feeling defeated. You're feeling down. You're feeling overwhelmed. It's really good to sit with those things. And when I say sit with those things, sit with them, analyze them for yourself and really take time to navigate and process what's going on, right? Because a lot of times when you are not able to do that, you're going to act out of your emotions instead of acting out of being very logical, using your brain, think, using your mind. Look, I said using your brain, using your mind to really think about some things and being able to capture a lot of those things. So one thing I would tell you that I know I enjoy doing the most, and that is really taking time to think. If, let me give you an example, if I'm feeling uncertainty, okay, let's process that. Why do I feel uncertain about something? What is causing me to feel uncertain? And is this something that I can overcome? Or what is going to have to be that outcome in order to change the uncertainties, right? What can we do when we're in those spaces? So, really thinking about things like that and making sure that you navigate through your emotions. And man, I can just tell you the amount of growth, right? The amount of growth when I think about who I was 6 months ago, right? Who I was a year ago. I am no longer that person. I have worked and continue to work on becoming a better person, learning from my behaviors, learning from the way that I respond to things, and making sure that it's not a constant thing that's going to continue to happen over and over and over and over again. But also making sure that when you do feel yourself getting in certain spaces, identifying why are you there, what got you there, and what needs to happen in order to break a cycle. And so that's really a good way at how I look at particular things. And I can tell you again, these last couple of weeks for me have been extremely rough. It's been tough, but I don't showcase that, right? I don't showcase that some days I'm feeling very tired, some days I may be sad, some days I may be happy. I don't showcase all of those things, but I do work behind the scenes and work on a lot of those things too, because there is one thing then to make sure that you give off all of that, right? But also making sure that you are learning to process those things and making sure those things don't rub off to anyone else, and that you are working on those holes and gaps. And one thing I truly, truly appreciate myself is being able to bring back my mind down, because sometimes my mind would be high because I'm an overthinker and I plan for worst case scenario. That's just how I operate. And I'm also a solution based person. So me learning to be okay with the weight, the hole, the halt for a moment while you process things, that is actually very important. And knowing what gets you to another level, right? What triggers you? And I think the more that you become aware, and the more that I become aware of what triggers me as I continue to grow and learn and unlearn things, it's important to really learn from those things and not let it fester into the direction of which you're wanting to go in life. So it's a beautiful thing when you have to do that constant work. And me, I'm a boss. I'm a leader. So I am always challenging myself to be able to process my feelings, because I have to carry the feelings and the weight of so many people. I have 80 employees. That's a lot of feelings. That's a lot of emotions. That's a lot of logical thinking, and being able to think really fast on your toes, be open to whatever is coming your way in that moment and day, which is a beautiful thing because I learn a lot of my skills of what I do based on experiences, and being able to say, okay, so when I did it that way, it worked great. But when I do it that way, I may not want to try that way again for the next person. And so, one thing I really truly value the most is caring a lot about how others are feeling, like how you feel, are you good, where's your mental, all of those things. And sometimes when you depart from that, right? You're done with your job for the day and you are at the end of the day. And it's like, okay, I worked my brain all day. So I don't want to continue to work. And I think that's the balance that I always try to make sure I harmonize it together because it will always go in sync some type of way. But a lot of things that I do at work are very much transferable skills that I use in my personal life, which is a beautiful thing because, again, life is not only set and based off your foundation of which you were, raised upon and what you've navigated and grown through in life, but it's always about the experiences that you have away, what you learn from them, and how you're going to move forward. So it's a beautiful thing to see when you're able to understand that. And I'm in a spot and in a space right now where I love the way my sister put this. She was she was describing me and how I think because she know me. She know me since I was a little girl, right? So she knows how my brain is wired and how I have to how to talk, right? How to communicate to me and what I'm willing to sacrifice and what I'm willing not to sacrifice. And she said something to me the other day that I'm like, man, you're right. She said, you are one of the most free spirit people I've ever met. Uh, she said that you are one of the most free spirit person I've ever met in my life. And she said it's a beautiful thing because you care a lot about people. You care about their feelings more than what you care about, for yourself. Because at the end of the day, because you have so much confidence and you're strong minded that you want to be able to take care of whoever is in your space, especially if they're good people to you. But she said the one thing that she loved that I'm not willing to do is I'm not willing to sacrifice my peace um, to make someone else's life better. And that's all that I ever want is just my peace, my space. And me being able to be accepted for wanting to have peace and space. And I can go so much deeper on that. And the way she broke that down to me um, was amazing. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like spot on. Because, man, I would shut down. I will shut you down if I feel you're coming from my peace and my energy. There is a difference between challenging me versus interrupting my peace. When you challenge me on something, you have to make sure that your facts are right. You have to make sure what you're challenging me on that it actually makes sense. You can't challenge me on something that makes you feel some type of way. You have to challenge me on things that is worth challenging me on. So if there is an opportunity, right? Maybe there's a pattern. Maybe you have identified what that pattern was. Challenge me on that. But you can't challenge me on things that make someone else emotionally unstable or just mad or whatever you want to call it in the moment. And so um that's a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing, and how she put that all together. And I'm like, you're right. Like that's all I want. all I want. All I want to do is help people be happy, have peace in my heart, have good people around me that genuinely have my best interest at heart, because 9 times out of 10 I'm going to have yours. Let me scratch that. 10 out of 10 I'm going to have yours, and you're going to feel it, and it's going to show in actions, and it's going to not just only show in actions but my words, and I show up. And so, one thing I did have to understand is to not put high expectations on people or things, right? And not be expecting others to do what I would do. Um, because when I do that and it doesn't happen, I get irritated and I'm mad and I'm upset and I'm like, ugh. So I learn not to overly hype or put too much high expectations on people, and just continue to meet people as much as possible on where they at, but also understand where my boundaries and where my values and my beliefs, where those lines are set, and I stand on them. And so I'm in this really weird spot. It's a good spot. It is a challenging spot, but I am very hopeful for the growth that is going to come out of this spot that I'm in. I'm hopeful for the endless possibilities and the endless love and all of these other things that's going to come at the end of all of this. But I am I feel good. I feel good in this space. But I also feel sad in a space sometimes. So again, I wanted to have something to release for Sunday Soul session as it is tomorrow. And wanted to share because I haven't recorded in a minute outside of me having a silent, me having a venting session with no sound clearly on my last episode that I recorded. So I wanted to just say that your girl is good. I'm good. But I'm also capturing every moment of my life. And the number one thing that we have to remember is vulnerability is real. Being able to take ownership, being able to understand where you probably fell short, um, and being able to sit and be patient, and um, have a lot of positivity around you in the moments of uncertainty. So I just want to say thank you guys for rocking with me. Thanks for listening. My subscribers are happening. My listeners are up. Um, and I'm excited for the journeys, and I'm saying it with the S because there's always a journey. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm hopeful. I have a lot of faith, and I'm excited for what's next, you know? But again, don't forget before I go to follow me on all my social media platforms. I am on Facebook, TikTok, which is my favorite, um, at Bravo CC. You can find me on Instagram. I'm going to say it again. I think Instagram hates me, but Bravo CC or Corporate Classy Podcast on there. And of course, my name is Alberta Thomas. Again, thank you for listening. Thank you for rocking with me. Until next time, peace.